Why Chebukati wants President Ruto to establish a commission of inquiry about 2022 presidential election. Exciting IEBC commissioners have requested President William Ruto to institute a public inquiry into what transpired at the Bomas of Kenya during the period preceding the declaration of the outcome of the August 9th, 2022 general election. Chairman Wafula took an oath, I quote, "I swore to obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I would faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge the trust and perform the functions and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of the appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, or prejudice, and I asked God to help me remain true to this oath."
IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati now says the 4 commissioners who have broken ranks with the commission wanted him to alter the presidential results to force a runoff. Chebukati, who has broken his silence after being accused of acting without consensus from the other commissioners, also says the 4 dissenters or dissenting commissioners were kept abreast of all the results of the presidential race until the last minute when they changed tune. Our very own Brenda Wanga begins the broadcast.
2 days after announcing the final tally of the presidential election result in chaotic scenes at the Bomas of Kenya, and the denouncement of the same by a section of the commissioners and the Azimio One Kenya Coalition Party, embattled IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati has finally broken his silence on the divisions within the commission that he has led since 2017.
We therefore decline to take ownership of the said results because the aggregation resulted in a total exceeding the percentage of 100, which cast doubt on the accuracy of the source of the figures tallied, and when we demanded that we verify our record, the chairman declined.
In a statement to newsrooms, the chairman of the commission says the 4 commissioners, Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Justus Nyang'aya, and Irene Masit, are being dishonest in their accusations against him. The 4 have accused him of what they term as lack of transparency in the final stages of tallying of the presidential vote result. But Chebukati says the 4 wanted him to alter the final tally moments before the scheduled announcement of the results at 3 p.m. this Monday. He says, and I quote, "The 4 commissioners, Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Justus Nyang'aya, and Irene Masit, demanded that the chairperson moderates the results for purposes of forcing an election rerun contrary to their oath of office. This is tantamount to subverting the constitution and the sovereign will of the people of Kenya." End of quote. Chebukati further says that he was well within his constitutional mandate in making the final declaration on his own as, and I quote, "The role of the National Returning Officer for the presidential election is not a shared responsibility and not subject to plenary decisions of the commission."
We announced the results from several constituencies, all of us, and all the members of the commission. And once that is done, it was going to the back end. What we are saying that back end was the privacy of Chebukati, not the rest of the commissioners. And it would have required for him to bring that back end analysis to the plenary to discuss and look at the results and evaluate and see what has been done at the back end. That is very simple. So if you want to ask about that back end, then you can check with Mr. Chebukati.
The 4 dissenting commissioners had claimed that the chairman erred by not involving and consulting them to get a common ground before the declaration of the result. Chebukati, however, says despite not being required by law to involve them, he, in the spirit of teamwork, involved all the commissioners in all activities of verification and tallying. Their duties were well defined in writing and allocated at the National Tally Center. He further says they had access to all results beforehand and interchangeably announced them for 6 days in the full glare of live television.
The 0.01% translates to approximately 142,000 votes.
The four commissioners have also faulted the final tally announced of the presidential result, but Chebukati says, and I quote, "The alleged 0.01% increase in the presidential election results raised by the four commissioners, namely Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Justus Nyang'aya and Irene Maset, is false and misleading." End of quote. The divided commission is yet to meet after the Monday debacle. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, in developments related to this story, the National Police Service officers have collected the CCTV files from the IEBC's National Tallying Center at Bomas of Kenya and has forwarded the same for further forensic analysis to aid with an ongoing investigation.